Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Look what I've got on my desk. Isn't this cute? I'm working on my wall calendar today. I'm making 4 wall calendars for 2026 and I've got 3 made so far and I'm going to make one with you. This is November and I'm calling it the Woodland Creatures theme. So there's our picture page for that. This is a free printable off Google. You can get all kinds of free calendar pages off of Google. Number 2, look at that. I just love these. I got these, I think I got these from online from Temu. This is some printables I had. Scrapbook papers from Michael's. This is a printable from the Junk Journal Studio. And there's that. For that one, and I'm tying in the date pages as of course as I always do with the picture pages. And look at the wolf. Just love how these turned out. I've got them inked around the edges with walnut stain, and there's the corresponding one with that. So let's get busy with number 4. So I've got my October dates page, and as this hangs on the wall, I'm going to flip this up to go to November. And I've already drawn an arrow. That's the way that I want my picture to go, so that if I start flipping my paper around, I don't get it upside down. And I've chosen a deer because I love deer. If you've been watching any of my videos, I talk about the deer in my neighborhood and nature and stuff. So I thought I'd save the deer for myself, and all the other ones are going to the people that I'm giving those calendars to. But I thought it would be appropriate to keep this one for moi. So I'm just marking this so that I put my page down fairly centered. Looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna put this down with my tacky glue. So we're getting close to the end of making our wall calendar, and I've got a playlist that I will link so that if you're just coming in late and you've missed the months, I will have that in the description so you can go and see everything that we've been doing since January. It's almost April here now in Canada, and I started making this in January. I cut these pieces. These are all 2x2. This is 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to repeat my pattern all the way around. I'm going to put the corners on first because since I measure and I cut them 2x2, but every once in a while they're just a teeny bit off. So I have my corners equal 2x2, and then if one in the middle needs to be a tiny bit less, then that's fine, and you don't even notice. But I don't want my corners to be under 2 inches. And this is leftover from that Bessler printable that I had printed out to work on. What was the last video I did? It was mini file folders, storage mini file folders with a little box that I made, and I made one of them with this Bessler printable from Seven Plaza. So I'm using that up because, as always, I find it very satisfying to use things up and waste as little as I can. And we're going to do the same thing. This is pretty easy. This is a pretty straightforward one, just with the squares and the strips. Each month I've made is slightly different, not all the same style, and very different colors. So I think the calendars are going to be very interesting to flip through as the year goes by. And as it gets closer to when I'm going to give them away, I'm going to double check them and make sure that the glue is holding. Everything is still stuck down, and I'm also going to go through I'll probably print a few little labels to put on for holidays like Christmas Day, Labor Day, statutory holidays that we have in Canada, so that at least the person who has it will know what those are, because those always come on your calendars when you buy them at the store. It'll be handy to have them on here. All right, continuing on, that's that one, that one, that one. And I've got diagonals on these two sides and squares on those two sides. Because this is the last one that I'm making. I'm trying to use up pieces of paper that I used for the first three. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I want to go ahead and work on December. Well, I've almost got December finished already. So I don't want to move on till I can button this month up. When I started doing this calendar, I had a YouTube profile, but I didn't have any videos that I'd uploaded. And somehow I had 4 subscribers though. And I don't know how that happens. Like maybe when you subscribe to other people, maybe some of them subscribe back. I'm guessing that's what happened. But hey, now I have 19 subscribers. So look at me go. If that's not progress, I don't know what is. Just as long as someone's going to watch this eventually and get inspiration from it and make something, that makes me happy. That's why I'm doing this, because we all do this because we think we have fun ideas, and we do. Everybody's got something unique to share. So if I hadn't watched so many tutorials on YouTube with everyone's beautiful creations, wow, then I wouldn't have as many ideas as I've gotten, because everybody makes beautiful things, and I love everybody's unique take. It's very motivating to see. Now, somehow I measured incorrectly for my center, and that's fine. It's just a little bit lower than the center, and I only noticed that because my strips are equal, but my amounts are different. Well, that's fine. Why not? Let's try it and see how it looks, and I'm sure it will look beautiful. Not everything, I know sometimes in pictures and paintings you'll have the center lower than the image lower than the center. So I'm gonna put these ones on first, and I think I will switch to my glue stick. And then when I'm finished with this, I will put this under my cutting mat, under my big heavy book. I keep forgetting what it's called. Gardening of Western Canada, something like that. It's a nice big heavy book, and it really makes my pages nice and flat. But it has to sit at least overnight. It takes a while for the glue to dry. I guess because it's under the mat, right? It's not out in the air. But I find if I leave them out, then they kind of curl up. And I don't love that at all. I want them to be nice and flat. And these are extra long, but it's, you know, I'm getting down to the last pieces that I had cut, so I don't mind putting something over. Since I'm going over top of them, they don't have to be precise. Some of these deer are, this one has spots, I guess because maybe they're AI generated images. So you wouldn't necessarily, at least not where we are, you don't see these mature deer with antlers and spots. They have the spots when they're little, and then they don't have than when they're bigger. And that's what I've seen in whitetail, blacktail, and mule deer. Are all like that, and I'm sure there's more kinds of deer in the world, but I haven't seen them. All right, so I've got, this is going to be slightly off. So we'll see how I decide to adapt that, because I have my pieces cut, but they were based on me centering my image properly, which I did not. Okay, how's that? Snip, snip, snip. No, gotta snip again. Let me see. Tiny bit more. I don't feel like measuring today. Or I mean, marking with my pencil. And this is directional. I can see there's little plants. So I'm making sure that I've got it up. I always had this rag on my lap because then I can just wipe away the excess glue that I have. And then how about this one? I've got a teeny bit of white showing, so I will just color in that white strip with a pencil, and then you won't know that it's there. I got a little pencil or a regular pencil and I sharpened it up real nice. If it was dark or black, I would use a Sharpie, but I'll just use a pencil because this is not that dark. It's not a black that I want in there. All right, look at, ooh, that much, too much glue. Okay, there we go. Then I've got, I think, what I can do, this is mine and I don't mind. I think I'll just put these two strips together. So I'll put this one at the top because it's got more color in it. Then this one, I'm going to cut it down. This is 3/4 of an inch, I believe. So I'm going to cut this to 1/4 of an inch. And then that just goes right in there. Now I'm getting down to the little edges part or bits in there, and I don't want to have too much extra glue on top of the papers that I've already put down. So we'll use this one instead. It's my gooey glue page. And then on the home stretch, let me just see if this is looking straight. I have to look at this from kind of an angle, so I can't quite tell 100% if it's straight. Then, oh, it's very nice and colorful. Okay, here's my pencil. I'm just gonna go to these ones that I don't want them to look completely white. And then I'm gonna ink around this as well. Okay, that's good. How's that side? I think that's pretty much it. Walnut stain for this. And a good amount just want to gently make some of this brand new scrapbook paper look a little more distressed, like the stuff, because this one had, the printable has distressing in it in different colors, and so yeah, that's better. All right, things looking a little more grungy. All right, well, there's my Woodland Creature deer calendar page. I have already taken the liberty of making the picture page for it, which I've also inked up. So it looks pretty darn nice, if I do say so myself. Well, I hope you had fun watching that, and we'll see you next time when we work on December.